Happy Tuesday to everybody and welcome to a speed build on a Tuesday. Here we are with another little iteration of our witchy woo series we've got going on at the minute, and this is the kitchen witch. So a kitchen witch is a witch that focuses on like practical aspects of magic. They can use their skills for like improving their daily lives or the daily lives of people around them. They use their magic to help with cooking, cleaning, and other household tasks. They may also be skilled in herbal remedies and natural healing techniques. And that is where the story starts. So I really wanted to build this kind of sort of fairy sort of storybook looking cottage, but I had visions of it being kind of elevated. In the beginning, I was going to elevate it on top of like a platform. I was just like, no, we can do one better than that. So we lift it all the way up, and I wanted this kind of like tiered sort of hilled garden sort of moment. So I built the actual cottage itself up on top of this little hill, and then I have a nice little sweeping pathway down into the garden area. I would imagine a kitchen witch likes to be outside quite often as well, so they're out there in the garden constantly tending to all of their herbs and spices and remedies and all of that kind of good stuff. So I made that apparent as well by building her a lovely garden, or him or they, building them a lovely garden with a greenhouse and some areas where they can grow lots of gorgeous things in. It's a 1-bedroom or 1-bathroom house. It's probably one of my favourites that I've done so far I think my favourite was the Sea Witch, but I didn't really like the interior to that. Whereas with this one, this is probably my favourite interior that I've done for all of the Witchy Woo series at the minute. And yeah, I do like it. We are going to continue on with the series. I want to do a hedge witch. I really want to do a lovely, very outside inside kind of house with the hedge witch. So that's probably going to be my next one. That's going to be coming up very soon. So be on the lookout out for it, my sweethearts. Yeah, lots of landscaping involved with this. Lots of terrain manipulation. I do a little bit of work off of camera just to perfect things here and there, especially with the terrain paints, because I just love the bug that's still in the game after all of these years, coming back to my game 4 times in a row and having the terrain paint disappear. It just fills my heart with joy to know that horrible, beautiful bug is still in our game, causing us so many problems every time that we come back to build something and the terrain paint disappears again. I just love it. I really do. And I kept making the mistake of not saving my build to the kind of my own kind of folder, you know, when you can save your builds. And I had to do it each time. It was very annoying, but I got there in the end and we were fine. Yes. Decided to extend. I went into the interior of this and I was just like, this house needs to be all about the kitchen. So I extended the bottom level out a lot more, just to make room for a lovely big kitchen. And in my head, I had this vision of a kitchen surrounded by windows, letting in lots of natural light. So you'll see me put those windows on a little bit further on. But yeah, and I'm going around making it look a little bit more interesting with the shape of the build as well. So I put some bay windows on the front and the back, copying over those roof pieces as well. And it started to come together really nicely. I kind of went about it a little bit differently with this. I concentrated on getting all of the, I think we started on the landscaping first before we actually went and put the wallpapers on. No, I'm lying. I nearly did that. I was going to do that first. And then I thought, no, we're not doing that. So you can see me putting the wallpapers and stuff on now. A little mixture. I used some from Get Together, but I also used that lovely new brick. Well, it's not really that new. I can't even remember where this brick came from. You'll see me put it on in just a second. But I love it. I can't remember where it's from. This brick here, is it from Horse Ranch? I don't remember. But I do this all kind of mostly on the bottom level, but I also go up onto the chimney breast as well and flopping that everywhere too. And yeah, came together lovely. I had so much fun building this. I was watching so many films when I was building this as well. I watched Gravity for the 5th time, I think, with Sandra Bullock, one of my favourite kind of space films out there. I just thought she was absolutely fantastic in that movie. What else did I watch? And I watched for the first time, it's kind of like a teen film really, The Edge of 17. Never watched it before, and I thought that was great. I thought it was a really, really good film, very well done. kind of showing a bit of teenage angst and mental health problems. It was really good. So if you haven't watched The Edge of 17, I would implore you to go and watch it. I was pleasantly surprised by it, to be honest with you. Even got a bit emotional in parts. It was very good. Very, very good. But yeah, that's what I tend to do now when I'm recording a speed build. I used to like listen to podcasts and just music or watch a few YouTube videos here and there. Now I just stick on a full film, couple of feature lengths, and then that's your kind of like building partner as you're going through. And yeah, loved it. You can see I've already put some balconies on the build itself. This one here comes straight off of the only bedroom, which is upstairs. One difficult thing I had with this build was placing the stairs. I didn't know where to place the stairs, but I managed to find a nice space for them in the interior, and it kind of works a little bit upstairs. It was a little bit of a janky angle upstairs, but I made that work too by putting a desk and stuff in there. So you'll see that, yeah, as we get into the interiors. So very nice. It came together really nicely, this build. It really did. I really enjoyed doing it, and I'm glad I was also going to put this in Granite Falls, but I'm glad that I moved over to Hillside and put it there, because I just think it works. It's in the countryside area up near where the waterfalls are. I just think it really works in this kind of like setting, especially with the houses and stuff around it. It fit in there beautifully. It really did. So with the kitchen witch itself, it was very much a kind of green witch kind of vibe, really, because they're kind of known as the garden witches. But I kind of wanted to bring the outside inside with this. So I made sure, as I said, to make the kitchen the main focal point of the entire house. Very small living room. There's only one chair in the living room. Well, no, I fit a little sofa in somewhere, but there isn't really a living room in this house. It's the main focal point is the kitchen, and that's where it stayed, to be honest. But yeah, it was very nice. Very, very nice to come across this. And I don't know, I loved building it. Really did. Again, with this here, I was just about to go on about the landscaping, and I am right now. With this, I was like, I don't really want stairs there. So you can see me kind of smoothing this area out now to kind of fit in just this really nice little sloping pathway that kind of like starts off around this area. Again, as I said, I've had to do this 4 times. So the path does change quite often. Even throughout this part, I did not like how that path looked. It looked a little bit janky, to be honest with you. So I do perfect it, and it just fitted in a lot better once I'd finished with it as well. And this is where I was like, oh God, we need some really lovely outdoor space. If this is a kitchen witch, they're going to have their friends over for some wonderful food and stuff, you know, so they're going to need a really lovely dining area. So this is where I decided to put in a veranda on the exterior and have it kind of lifted up with like stilted foundation and stuff, just so it looked a little bit more fairy tale-esque. And yeah, it worked. I was having trouble with this here because it wasn't flattening to the foundation, but I did make it work in the end. I just had to extend this all the way out. You can see it's all extended all the way over to this side now. And yeah, they can use it. Everything is player tested in this house as well, so it will be up on the gallery as you are viewing this. Maybe a little bit later, actually, because I'm going round to my parents for some food tonight. So by the time this is out, I probably won't be back for a couple of hours since, from the release time, shall I say. So yeah, just be on the lookout. I just need to turn my phone over. I'm getting distracted by the group chat. I hate group chats. I really do hate group chats. Even if it is with my favourite people in the world, I just can't bear them. I end up ignoring it half the time. My friend's like, oh, Aiden's spoke in a group chat. Are you feeling all right? I just don't do them. But, you know, that's just me. Let me know if anybody else is like that out there. Cannot bear a group chat. It's just not for me. Again, you can see I'm going to town with the train painting, and it just fills me with anger every time that I see it, because I know that I've had to go in and do this multiple times throughout this whole build process. So annoying. Really, really was. But I thank the Lord it doesn't happen with the landscaping, so I can see where all of the train paints need to go. I go in and heavily get to town with the landscaping. A lot of tool mod was used for the landscaping because, as we all know, it doesn't fit on hills and stuff. So you won't see me use the tool mod like a lot throughout this, because I kind of do it off camera, because it was just a lot of numbers and a lot of like I don't know, fine-tuning things, really, especially with like these sort of like hillsides. I've made sure to show you where I was kind of putting the plants, but then I kind of go off camera and get the tool mod into gear and make sure that it's just, yeah, working perfectly. But yeah, beautiful. I do love the way it's come out. I really do. And there we go. Ta-da! Landscaping is done. But I just went in and added a few more things as well. Some lavender, some yellow flowers, just to get a bit of contrast between the purple flowers that I've put down. And it worked. I think it really worked anyway. You'll have to let me know down in the comment box. So down here, I was like, oh, this is still going to need to have like a little walled-in garden moment. So I used the same wall as what I did from Debug, that kind of like stone fence that came with. Oh my God, what did that come with? I have no idea. Was it Get Together? I have no idea. I think it was Get Together. And I kind of walled in the kind of courtyard. Not the courtyard. The greenhouse and the kind of planting area that you'll see in just a second. And it worked. It really, I don't know. I was a bit worried about this, to be honest with you. Only because I was like, how am I going to make this work? Having this like sort of garden at one level and then a little tiered section at another and then going up to the house. But the windy path, as soon as I got that in without the stairs, it just all came together really nicely. At the top here, I was a little bit bored of how this looked. So I put these little roof decoration pieces from Cottage Living. And I think it was okay. It came together all right in the end. I got rid of one of the levels of it and then put on some details on the edges. And that's where it kind of came into play. This was like a 3-level moment that we got going on here. I ended up just going with a 2. I thought a 3 was just a little bit too chunky, a little bit too much. But I did want to make this greenhouse like a little bit more fantasy-esque. So yeah, we end up making that happen. And it worked out in the end. And that's all I can say. So this is me kind of perfecting up the terrain paints a little bit more now. I used this a lot, this little like stone path sort of moment. But I knew that I wanted to fit down some outside planters here. So I needed to fine tune where I was putting everything, and everything works. Everything is perfect. And I've even put plants in these planters. So as long as the world that you're putting this build down in is in the summer, the plants should be all in full bloom for you to be able to, you know, get all your bits and pieces out, to be honest. But yeah, very, very nice indeed. Also, I did manage to get away this weekend and go for a little day walk with me and Daisy. So expect a new video up on the other channel, maybe towards the end of this week, but maybe also the beginning of next week. It just depends on how much time I've got for editing and stuff this week, because I've just got a few plans IRL. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to get it edited, but there will be one coming. You just might have to be a little bit patient, my loves, but I know that you all are, but there will be one coming very, very soon. It was a nice day. It was a nice walk. It's a walk I've done many times, but it was packed. There were so many people about. I don't like people at the best of times, but when I want to be in nature and I'm walking past, you know, Bob, Fanny and Nan at the same time, I was getting a little bit annoyed, I won't lie to you. But the walk itself, it's a bit shorter than the rest of the ones that we've done already, but it was still a nice day, and Daisy had a good time, and that's all that matters, you know. End up editing this space, yeah, the greenhouse, and putting in like a flower arranging tables and stuff in here, just to have a little bit more gameplay in this area. And I do put some really nice sort of rare flower types in here as well, like the death flower and various other ones, including the UFO plant. I've never really planted that before, but I planted it in here because we are a witchy woo in this place, you know. But yeah, and a few little decorations outside as well, just to sort of bring this together. And then up onto the veranda. As I said, I really wanted this witch to have a space for their friends to be able to come over where they could, like, you know, enjoy the food and enjoy each other's company, maybe a coven even, you know. So I really wanted to have this area as a nice space to come up and do that. And I still wanted it to have a multi-use kind of moment. So you can see me putting a lot of these planters up here as well. Maybe a little bit easier for them to grab rather than running all the way down to the garden to get herbs and stuff. They can just grab it from here. And I thought it worked out really nicely. Just putting a few more details on the back of the build as well. Just a bit of wisteria here and there just to bring a little bit of a magical moment into the place. And this is where the magic really happens. So I wanted, as I said, the main focus of this house to be the kitchen witch, as I said. So I used the kitchen. I'm using this kitchen to death at the minute. I really like it. The one from the Horse Ranch pack. I just think it fits into these kind of builds really nicely. And I'm just a little bit bored of the other kind of like cottagey like kitchens that we've got. This one here comes in some really nice swatches too. End up putting in a different sink though. Now it has got a different top to it, but I was fine with that. It kind of looked all right. So that's the way that I left it. So, but yeah, nice little island as well, but nothing too much. I only put 2 chairs on that because I was really adamant I wanted this space to be able to be used easily. And I don't think the fridge would have opened with some bar stools and stuff on the island just in front of it. So I left those free and just left 2 there. They've got a big dining space on the exterior, so I wasn't too worried about that, to be honest. But I just wanted this kitchen to look like it was kind of like a real lived-in, heart of the home working kitchen, and I use a lot of things to make that happen, including all of these things that I'm going to put up on the shelves now. Lots of potions and herbs, and I just like it. I think it's nice, and I've never really fully concentrated on a kitchen so much as to make it the main focus of the house. Whereas with this one here, kitchen witch, it needed to be. And I think it just feels very lived in and very loved and very tidy. Even though there's clutter everywhere, I still wanted it to feel very tidy. And I don't know, a kitchen you could work in and find everything, and it would be, yeah, you know, easy enough to use. With a cookery book, a mortar and pestle. Is that what? Yep, that's what it's called. Yeah, just perfect. And this is where the kind of living area comes into play. So there's not much here at all. I wanted a bookcase in front of the fire with a lovely armchair. And I end up putting in a little seating area just in case they have more than one person in here, you know. So they do have a small little sofa to come and sit on over by this window here. Again, I was making sure to leave enough space here and there because we needed... there's a bathroom there for a start. You can probably hear Daisy barking. So I wanted that door to open easily. And again with the bathroom, going very natural with the bathroom. So I make sure to use like a wooden bath and stuff. Apart from the toilet, a little bit glamorous with the toilet. But I thought it worked really nicely. Yeah, cute little bathroom. I do like how that bathroom came out with the wood and the stone on the walls and the wooden... bath and stuff. I thought it really worked. And then up into the bedroom. I really wanted to mezzanine this bedroom in the beginning, but because of the roofs and stuff, they just end up poking through when you do stuff like that. I fought against it, and I managed to make the shape of this bedroom work. And yeah, it was really cute. And again, keeping it very earthy tones. But that's it, my darlings. You're going to go and watch a video tour now, and I will be back tomorrow with another video. Goodbye. Thank you.